来精彩表演，看一下今天这场2016年中韩星际本作战星际嘉年华，由七哥和大华东战阵联合赞助播出，也是邀请了各路的星际爱好者来参观这场非常经典的中韩的对抗，而且现在也是。
All right, guys. It looks like we have a Bisu versus Effort VOD from yesterday that we're gonna go through. I've got the side stream ready in case we need to switch back over to the live event matches, guys. Again, this is from yesterday. I'm gonna try and turn this down because it sounds like the background music is a bit loud. And oh no, my dogs have awoken, so maybe a bit of a distraction there. Just going to have to take care of them very shortly if I have to. Okay, I'm ready here. So it looks like we're gonna have game number 1 of Effort versus Bisu. Bisu spawning down at the bottom right half of this map, and then at the top left we're going to see Effort. These two titan warriors of this game, and you know, really unfortunate what we just saw from Bisu a minute ago, but yes, we're going to be seeing an epic PvZ. And in my opinion, this is just mine, but Bisu, since the Sospa era, since Kespa moved on to StarCraft 2, since the past 5 years, Bisu really has actually had his weakest matchup be PvZ. He just hasn't been playing it very well. And so I always expect that Bisu might lose to the top Zerg. You know, when he lost to Effort in an SSL or the NSL, whichever version we were at, and then he also lost to Hero in another SSL. I mean, there's a reoccurring trend here that Bisu makes it the finals because he's that awesome. But yes, the other trend, the one that you actually were looking for, is that Bisu is losing to these top Zerg players in high, you know, impact matches when things really, really count. So, you know, just that being said, is he just slipping up in a finals? Or are Zerg players just really understanding his play style, and there needs to be another revolution in PvZ for a top Protoss player such as Bisu to be able to defeat Zerg players? I mean, Larva is a great Zerg player. He is a great ZVPer, but no way is he near, you know, on the level of Effort and Hero when they were playing Bisu in those finals games. So you just got to assume that, you know, maybe just the top tier players, and then when you start to get to like the level 2 tier, Bisu can defeat those Zerg players pretty easily. Alright, I'm trying to keep an eye on this Chinese stream here, but I'm sure that you guys will spam in the chat if the next series decides to go forward, and which would be Movie versus Effort in that series. It looks like there may be a game that's getting ready to start here, but meanwhile, Bisu, he's got a Zealot inside this base. He's going to lose it though. The 3 Zerglings going to clean it up very nicely. Oh, some nice micro from Effort too. Going to keep those Zerglings alive. If he doesn't lose a Zergling, if he doesn't, okay. Oh man. I mean, he almost lost 2 there, but still, if he didn't lose a Zergling, that would have been the most godlike Zergling micro. And these little things add up. Bisu's actually just non-stop sending Zealots across the map. As you can see, they're streaming their way across to the top left. But Bisu's going to want to trade even more efficiently. He's got to keep them alive. Finding that little nook and cranny is actually going to be really perfect for him. And so he's going to trade even more efficiently against these Zerglings, but he's got to camp behind the mineral line. Okay, here comes the next Zealot, heading towards that natural base. Let's be careful to watch this Observer as he does. Come on, let's see the natural. No, okay, so the Zealot's actually going to go up the ramp anyway, not going to attack that hatchery at all and camp itself down at the bottom. What is Bisu doing? This is what we saw Bisu do against Effort that cost him the entire series, was losing all these Zealots. And you just, he's what, lost 300 minerals and Zealots so far in this game. If he sends another Zealot in and loses it, that's like a Nexus worth of Zealots just completely thrown away and not much done. And what does Effort have from this? A ton of links. And the links that can make it inside this base. In fact, he's attacking the Photon Cannon right now. And look at this, a second cannon is gonna have to go down because a lot of lings are on the way. No way, Bisu, oh, what are you doing? This is why he loses to top Zergs, because they do these little things with Zerglings that get them the wins really easily against Bisu. Are you kidding me? Oh man, and then there's a zealot across the map again. Bisu's managed to take the one that was scouting at the third base at the 12 o'clock, heading its way up towards the top left, and gonna hide itself behind that mineral line once again. Zerglings are bringing themselves back inside the base, gonna make it more secure. A lot of Zerglings have been built. A lot of Zerglings have been built. So it makes you wonder about the timings that Effort's gonna want to go with in this game. Maybe he's just going to have a 3-base timing attack with Zerglings and Hydras. Yeah, you do see that the Hydra Den is going down. He's going low eco on gas. And Hydras are very efficient. You can actually just pump a ton of them and get all the necessary stuff you need off one gas. And then you drop down a second gas when you're ready to go into the 3-base play. When you're ready to just go into those Hydras. Alright, so 3 zealots sitting at the north behind that mineral line again. These lings can't trade efficiently. They're not going to go in there. They're just going to help keep the zealots at bay. But what Bisu's going to do is he's just going to constantly check back in. He's going to, hey guys, yeah? You got a drone you could kill? No? Okay, I'm going to come back later. And during his macro, as he continues with this game, he's going to be tabbing back and forth between this base to see when he can actually get in, maybe kill off a worker. Actually, with the Hydra range, though, it's going to force an engagement here. And the lings are going to clear this up once more. So speed upgrade done on these lings, +1 on the way for those zealots here, as they're going to prepare for the slaughter that Effort might bring. Look, Stargate's done. Corsairs are out, and Bisu, he's only got 1 Corsair, but immediately he's going to want to go and scout as fast as possible. Not only this, but Effort is weakened. Without a Spire, without any Scourge play, the Corsairs are going to just only have to dodge around Hydralisk, and if they're not in good positions, then there will be easy pickings for Bisu against these Overlords. And I think this is real good. A second Corsair on its way. The Overlord's trying to find themselves in the best position possible, so that way they can, be defended pretty easily with these Hydras. You see that the Lair was going on its way. It's going to be a really late Spire when the Spire does finally come up, but I think that Effort, he will be able to just defend this. It's only a 1 Stargate build, but +1 attack is on its way. Corsairs are going to be able to kill things off that much faster. Look at this, an evolution chamber coming down, an additional hatch. This could be 5 hatch, this could be 6 hatch play, but this definitely looks like that standard 6 hatch play that you'd see, the one that Jaedong made so famous right now. 1 hatchery at that third base, but there's going to be hatcheries at the natural base too, as he tries to get up to that critical amount before he goes into an all-out Hydra rush down towards that natural. Alright, Bisu's got his Zealots and a DT, and look at that, only 1 Overlord at this base, and I wonder if he's just going to tank dive in for this Overlord, and the DT didn't get focused down in time. The DT is still alive. Oh, there's an Overlord there from the side, but it does get taken out. Oh, another Overlord does pop. What luck for Effort, as he's going to continue to have detection. It's going to force the DT out, but the DT not without doing damage. It was able to harass and just prod in at that third base. These are the little things that BC needs to slow down this macro that could kick in for Effort very shortly here off these 3 bases. He's got a huge amount of larvae now that he can work with, and just Effort can sift around, make sure he gets the right amount of mining to army ratio. Bisu sitting on 5 gates right now, and here's the thing in PvZ, you gotta have a certain amount of tech before you can even think about getting your 3rd base. Some players even think it's completely necessary to have the robotics facility done before you can move out, because you just don't want to get caught off guard without having the robo available to you. Okay, it looks like the stream has ended on the Russian side, so I think that may have been it for the day. We're just going to continue with this cast. Whenever this video ends, we're going to call it a day. I know this is a best of 3. I'll try and finish the other 2 games later, unless this one has all 3 of them. I don't know about this VOD. Okay. But the spinning's still going on the cybernetics core. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Is that possibly... no, it's got to be range. Yeah, +1, and now he's going to range. Because you want to have, 8 to 12 Dragoons available to you towards the mid-game. The Dragoons are really key in being able to combat lurkers, just having that extra range to help supplement these Zealots. Of course, Zealots are going to be extremely effective, especially with speed against these Hydralisks. And look, they're going to go on the hunt. They're going to try and chase these units down as everything retreats to the north. And Effort's going to be pulling his army back. Okay, so I am getting confirmation that the Movie versus Effort series is going to be put off. It won't be happening today. And yes, we're seeing that Bisu is able to take a 3rd base. He's got the 6 o'clock location now. And looking really solid. This is much better than his nervous start to this game, where he lost a lot of Zealots, but he did again. People think this is an important number, where you can lose those Zealots because you forced Lings and drones were delayed, which delays everything for Zerg players. I really wish that I could do the math behind this, or someone else would do that for me because I'm lazy. And see what the trade ratio is and how effective Bisu actually was in the beginning of this game. Okay, so the Corsairs are still having a pretty solid presence here. And you could see that they're floating between the natural and the 3rd base up at the top. Bisu wants to make sure he keeps those Corsairs alive. It's something that I think is probably one of the most staple units in the PvZ matchup, and you don't want to lose them. Oh, look at this army. Okay, so Bisu's got a decent amount of Dragoons. He lost a lot of Zealots. He lost a lot to that Lurker and the Hydralisk attack at the right. But still, he's got a decent army here. It's supplemented with High Templars and Effort. He's trying to just maneuver his army into all the proper locations. He knows that now he's getting a base at the top right. He's going to be taking the 1 o'clock position, but he needs to make sure he has units on both sides of the map. And Bisu's bulk army, the core pushing towards the middle, is actually going to be able to cut off reinforcements. So until Nidus Canal can come in, it's going to be these low amount of units, probably just lurkers on the ramp, to defend the top right as Bisu decides that he's going to bounce over to the left and show presence at the bridge of this natural base. Where's Bisu going to go with his Corsairs? They're actually not with the army, but there's a ton of Overlords over here. And storms are going to be absolutely critical here. 2, 3 storms going off right now, but actually not a lot of Hydras going down. He finally has to use a 4th storm. Where's the Observer with this army, though? Okay, so he's got 2 Observers. He will be able to see Lurkers. But this is a nice pincer attack from Effort, coming in from both sides. The Lurkers getting down, the Hydra's getting huge damage off. High Templars cannot move any faster. They're going to have to just cast away their storms and possibly merge into an Archon, which is surely enough going to die, but just delay everything. No way! Okay, the 3 High Templar, if they get away, this is a huge blitz for Bisu as he's trying to retreat here and keep these heavy gas units alive. What is it, 50 minerals, 150 gas? Yeah, want to keep those. So, at this point in the game, really good, only losing 1 here. In fact, he should have just brought that probe over to attack the Hydralisk. Anything to keep these 2 alive. If that Hydralisk takes out 1 more High Templar, oh, what a blunder for Bisu after keeping 3 of them alive from the earlier attack. This is great moves, though. The Lurkers had been repositioned. They had left to help aid that attack at the left side of the map, which means that they left a high-grounded defense advantage. And with the Zealots in here, an odd attack to go for the hatchery, unless he does get it down. Is Bisu a genius? Is he going to be able to take out the hatchery, getting down to 200 health? Oh my god, just 1 Zealot left and 150 health. Not close. Imagine how many more drones would have been taken out if he had attacked them over the hatchery. But Bisu will be able to take out the hatchery very quickly if he does get a few more Zealots in. Not that that's an easy feat. Effort, very difficult player to be able to get those types of attacks off more than once. He is an adapting player. He can evolve. That's why he plays Zerg. He really just knows how to meld with the game and learn from any mistakes and attacks that a Protoss player will throw at them. Alright guys, yes, you have missed the live stream of Flash versus Bisu. I only came in right at the end here, but now you're watching Bisu versus Effort, game number 1 here of the Brood War Sino-Korean Carnival. And I'm sure I just butchered that somehow. And look at this, shuttle play coming in for Bisu. Meanwhile, he has acquired a 4th base. I love this. So a lot of Protoss players, they sit back when they're going for the 4th. What Bisu's doing is showing presence at the natural and showing presence at the 4th at the same time. And he's going to try and run in for the hatchery. He's going to get it this time. Oh no! No, they just evaporated. I really thought if he could have gotten 3 zealots on the hatchery, it would have died. Oh man. This is like diving for the core in Heroes of the Storm when it has like 2% health left. But the entire 5 heroes are right there to just kill you off every time. So the dive is unsuccessful here again. Bisu, he's trying to engage in an army that has finally reached Hive Tech. Gonna see that the Defiler's out, throwing down the Dark Swarm, already consuming units, which means that both those upgrades are completed here. So Bisu's not gonna have an easy time getting in towards that natural base. He's gonna have to bounce again. This is all you do as a Protoss player. It's a pinball machine at the top as you go between each bumper and try and just wreck that pinball machine. Meanwhile, another Dark Swarm sitting at the top of the base. So now the 3rd is going to be secure. You're not going to get up that high ground, especially when you've got a Dragoon heavy army. You can't get up ramps. You just can't. And so there's no way that Bisu is going to continue the attack over there. I feel like, you know, there's if there was an observer, oh god, 2 observers dying over there. But if there was an observer up at the top right, Bisu would be able to indicate to himself, now is the time that I can go for a shuttle drop. Now I can run units up inside this base. But he's not really keeping an eye over to the right. You know, where's that Corsair army? It's non-existent anymore. So Bisu's really weakened because he doesn't have his Corsairs anymore. He can't scout very easily across the map, but just one. Okay, as I say that, just one lonely Corsair. Somehow it is still scraping around the map. Alright, so Bisu's core army once again trying to get together. I think these group of zealots need to go to the right. Look at that. Actually, Effort has moved his lurkers from defending the top right. There's a weakness right now if Bisu makes his way over. Meanwhile, Effort's been just sitting very passive defensively. He hasn't done anything to actually attack the economy of Bisu, which is something that I firmly believe Zerg players can't do. You know, if he's gonna try and keep up with Bisu, he should have a 5th base right now as he continues to defend. I really like that though by Effort to go for the lair so that way he could get that necessary HP upgrade. But right now, sitting on 4 bases comfortably, 3 mining, the main mine out, and going to be taking a 5th down at the bottom left. Bisu couldn't be in a better position in the PvT. This is looking really, really solid for him. And from here, you know what he does? Once he takes the 5th, once he knows he has that secure, if Effort's not doing any more damage, he can actually just go ahead and take the middle nexus. Why not? He's constantly controlling the middle of the map. We haven't seen Effort have any map control throughout this entire game. Okay, so there's a lot on the line right here for Effort, who's trying to hold down the natural base. This is game number 1 here, and what I believe is, okay, yes, the best 3, it says it right on the screen. Just reading comprehension, BisuDagger. You can do it. And there's not a lot of High Templars for Bisu. Where are those High Templars that could be helping him out in this game? And I actually closed out the Russian stream now, so I really hope that there's nothing necessary that comes back up on that stream. And as we continue to see here, that without Corsairs, the DTs of Bisu really aren't getting a lot of damage done. I like that he's trying to maneuver with them and try and make them prevalent in this game. But right now, we're seeing something that we don't like to see if you're a Zerg fan. The minerals are mining out at the main and the natural base, because he hasn't been able to expand fast enough. It's just I guess Effort really put himself in a bad position by not taking a faster 5th. Usually when you can spread out those drones more, you can let your mineral lines last a little bit longer here. Okay, so the Overlords have speed now. They're on the move. And what's inside of them? Are we going to see any drop play coming from these Overlords? They are making a run down towards this bottom left. And look at this. Bisu's reacting with his entire army to 4 Overlords. He doesn't know if there's anything in them. He doesn't know what's coming. But he brought his entire army down to the bottom left. Why is this huge? Because Effort's trying to take the top right. He's getting his 5th and 6th base over there at the 12.5 position, the 3 o'clock position. And so this is really good for him to finally get Bisu to play into his hand, to try and get him to move around on the map where he wants him to. And now this is allowing the entire Zerg army to escape from the natural base, try and do mid-map engagements. I don't like that though, not a fan. I think that Bisu has a much stronger core army right now. And because it's all open, flat ground, Effort can't really find an advantage point. This isn't like certain maps where you can just have high ground spokes that you can retreat to and attack on, kind of like on match point. You know, it's just all flat, which means the middle of the map is all for Bisu's for the taking. Unless Zerg can find some like amazing surrounds. Oh my god! What a terrible loss there though. The Reaver going down, a shuttle being lost too. And Bisu's losing that presence again at the right side and continuing to just show his force over at the left at the natural base. 5 bases, yes, for Bisu. He has mined out his natural base, so he's sitting on a 3-base economy right now. His bank's got to be pretty decent as he continues to move forward here with storms. I think that Bisu might have enough to finally take this game, but he's not going to force the issue quite yet. Oh, really nice moves, though. The storms actually absolutely looking solid here. Look at the Reaver just glitching around the Archons. You gotta love sprite logic here. You never know how the layering is going to absolutely work when you have just ground units glitching around each other. Someone threw up a great GIF, I believe in like Brood War General chat the other day, of Bisu having his entire army glitched on the ramp, and when he clicked over to go, hey, what the hell? I thought I had this huge army. He instantly GG'd. It was pretty hilarious. Okay, so Effort wasn't able to take that 3 o'clock base. He has a lot dancing around there. In fact, there may even be a drone that's about to finally plant there, yes. And can he hold on to the 3rd? It's so close to the territory of Bisu, and this is where this map gets really hard. And so Bisu, he might be able to pressure that 3 o'clock base while still trying to show his presence at the natural. But all of the economy for Effort is finally shifting from the top left to the top right. And Bisu is going to start changing his army flow. He was camping at the left side of the map, not only because there's the primary production and the important facilities at the left, but because he's got a lot of economy down at the bottom left that he wants to keep alive. Decent plague. But now he knows that there's nothing threatening him at the bottom left if he continues to threaten the top right. And so that is where he's going to just be poised to attack. Can't get up this ramp quite yet, though. He's trying to be careful where the lurkers are. Sending out a Scarab. He's going to be able to take these lurkers from the Scarab siege range that they do have. And he's going to be planting his attack on the 3rd here, trying to take, at the 3 o'clock base here, trying to take out this hatchery. Look at Effort, though. All his units are streaming out right now, Sauron Zerg style. And this is just like the Battle of Mordor. All of these orc units just rushing their way across and towards the middle of the map here. And going to be swarming Bisu from all sides. And can Bisu hold on here? He's got a lot of Archons with their swipe damage, but they were a little weakened with the Plague, of course. The storms are going to be much more beneficial here. He needs to make sure these storms go down very efficiently. The range of the Hydras actually allow them to engage pretty decently against these Archons here, and Bisu's losing a huge portion of his army. Wow. Can you believe how much he's lost right here? And he's actually losing his Reavers. There are no more Archons. The Dragoons being forced back too. And Effort, with an amazing push forward, is actually able to take back that side of the map. Oh, what a crushing defeat on Bisu's army. And Bisu, has he been prepared? He's got to have bank, like I said. He should have been maxed out for a while. He's actually taking another base again. He's going to be going for that 9 o'clock location and should be starting to max out with his army one more time. He's got to remacro hard here, though. This is going to be a very weak situation for Bisu. No matter where Effort decides to attack, it's just not going to be beneficial for Bisu, who doesn't have his army on all the right locations. He's going to defend with cannons and DTs and High Templars at the left, and at the right, it's Zealots and Reavers. Effort's just kind of weighing his decision right now. He knows that that either decision, he could end up losing his army really quickly because Defender's advantage is really in the favor for Bisu right now. And the best thing he could do is be able to secure the third while he shows map presence, which is what he's doing right now. The hatchery on the way again. He's just got to make sure he can keep Bisu from amassing an army that can move out safely into the middle of the map. A lot of Dragoons with this army. I feel like if Effort can sniff this out, that Bisu just went really Dragoon heavy and can get a decent amount of Zerglings, then he's going to be able to take down these Dragoons really, really fast. Or maybe even just snipe off High Templar. It's where, like, the storms have to be burned to kill off swarms of Zerglings to keep the Dragoons alive. That's generally what happens at that point. A decent amount of units moving towards that 9 o'clock base, though. Bisu doesn't really have mining there quite yet, so it's okay-ish if he loses this. But I really like that he's able to respond with the shuttle and the Reavers. Okay, a ton of units trying to get into attack here. Bisu, he's got to pay attention and may have to micro a Reaver up. Oh my god, that health's so low. He loses one Reaver. That was lazy. Complete laziness from Bisu. And now another swarm of Zerglings are going to be coming in here. He's going to have to cancel everything off and finally does lift the Reaver before he loses it. But he is going to lose that Nexus. The speed of these Zerglings, the high damage output is going to kill him off so quickly. He loses another Reaver. Bisu making some huge blunders with his Reavers here. And now it might end up losing his High Templars in the fray here as more and more Hydros show pressure here on this defending army of Bisu. So Bisu loses the 9 o'clock location. He's mined out the 6 o'clock and it's only floating on a 2-base economy. Meanwhile, Zerg finally end the economic lead with 3 bases towards the top right. Full mining here. The drones going for a drone trail to try and hold off these Zealots as the speed and swiftness of this Zerg army tries to make its way towards the 3 o'clock location. Is the hatchery going to go down? Have to focus on the units. Have to focus on the hatchery. The hatchery does go down here. So Bisu able to eliminate that. Now on 2 mining bases per opponent here as Effort wasn't able to respond fast enough. A nice run in here with Zealots, but at what cost? He just lost a lot of Zealots that could have helped out Bisu's army. A quick pull here. Oh my god, some Gosu timing from Effort as he realizes that the drones are moving in. And he's going to go for the drop anyway. Massive storms are going to be going off. He does kill off some Hydras and drones here. A decent amount of damage coming down. And then he just goes for the lovemaking of that Archon. Decent storms indeed. And now he's, oh my god, he's still got more storms. High Templars going crazy inside these mineral lines up here at the top right. Effort thought it might have been over, and he lost a considerable amount of mining. This is the one way that Bisu can get himself back in the game. Meanwhile, 21 kill Archon, and he is just going to continue to go crazy. Yes, I assume all Archons are he's. It is the pronoun of choice. Anyway, the Archon finally getting taken out as the natural is cleared out. Still an oddly high amount of drones, and then you go, okay, well, yes, there is a Nidus Canal over there. So the Nidus Canal receiving tons of drones to resupplement the mineral lines at the top right location. A third hatchery is on its way, though, as the swarm continues to spread its way around the map. Effort might want to try and take that 9 o'clock too. That's why he's positioning his units a full spread on the map. And as you're seeing, as I said earlier about how Bisu had full map control, look at this. Effort took his time and now has a vision across almost the entire map here. It is just all completely orange here, as Effort seems to be playing a fairly decent game up until the fact that he lost all his drones to those storms. Bisu's got to set himself up in another position here. Oh, the Reaver just missed those drones that were transferred down to the bottom right. He could have gotten some huge worker kills, but the Reavers are coming in again. Can Effort respond in time? If these Reavers get in range of the mineral lines, he might be able to take out a ton of drones here. This is just a huge defense to allow the Reavers to do as much damage as possible as Bisu's militia tries to take out that natural base. The lurkers are going to be burrowed in here now, and the shuttle's just going to go ahead and ferry the Reavers even further into this natural base. Several storms going down, going to be able to clear everything out. Bisu's got a stronghold on this location. He might be able to eliminate everything. All of the drones go down. There's no more mining at this base. Only at the pure 1 o'clock position will there be mining at this point in the game. Bisu doing a phenomenal job, but now he's down, reduced to 1 mining base. He's mined out the natural from the bottom left location. Gonna have to start looking at, say, maybe taking that 9 o'clock location again, or going for the nexus in the middle. Okay. The shuttle retreating, maybe to replenish the units that should be taking Fair Harbor inside of it, and going back for harassments again. Zerglings, Hydras, poised to defend if needed at that 3 o'clock base. Bisu, he's going to try and loot from the north. He's looping for the north, and he's got a storm going off. A weak storm, one very weak one, as he only gets a drone, and a great reaction from Effort as he's preparing to pull drones all the time here. That actually was a great pickoff. Losing that shuttle is going to slow Bisu's roll down, as he was using that shuttle play to really keep Effort down. Now here's the thing. Effort, he's able to re-macro drones really quickly just because of the huge hatchery count he has right now. So at least he's able to be back to full mining force once again. Bisu though, what's he going to do from here? I think it's absolutely imperative that he does get another Nexus mining. He needs to have 2 bases mining to be able to keep up with Effort, because if he can't do anything to Effort right now, then he needs to make sure he turtles up and gets a proper economy going once again. Going to be a little bit hard to get these lurkers that are on top of the ridge there, though, defending at the ramps. Never a fun task to try and take that down, but maybe a few key effective storms would allow Bisu to do that. Meanwhile, his army instead, Bisu not allowing himself to expand, is going to be forcing himself up towards the top right. Is he going to be able to take these units out? This is a strong force. He's got +3 armor here, and I'm sure he has +3 attack on his units at this point in the game too. And the Reavers going to be taken out. Plague going down too. Dark Swarm also. But, you know, the Dark Swarm's not going to do that much. These Archons are going to continue to swipe damage forward here. And look at the Storms blanketing, too. This is just like pure Tier 3 tech going wild against Effort's army here. And he really doesn't have the firepower to deal with this. It's definitely possible that Bisu might be able to take game number 1 in this best of 3. The Archons cleaning up everything here. Wow, Effort's in a really bad position right now, but he still has his Nidus Canal. He can get his army towards the top right if he needs to get up that ramp, so he can defend. Bisu's going to have much harder time trying to take the 1 o'clock base until he does take out that Nidus Canal. Meanwhile, the army's weak at the 3 o'clock base. Just a Zealot and a couple Hydras, and this is going to be enough. Oh, a nice egg block, though, by Effort to prevent the army from getting inside this base quite yet. He almost needs a Nidus Canal to be able to get you more units up into the 3 o'clock location to be able to defend this. There's not going to be enough. Storms just paving the way. Archons going in for cleanup squad, and this is going to be Bisu's base once again, as he is able to take everything out. Some really nice storms, and GG, Effort getting taken out. Wow, what a game number 1. Alright, guys. Whew. That is going to wrap up my casting for today. I apologize that I'm not going to be getting into game number 2 and 3.